Hello, you lot. This is Keith Cooks. I'm live. There's nobody here. Hey, what if nobody turns up at all? That'd be fun, won't it? Am I obliged to sit here wittering endlessly when nobody's listening? But there's somebody there now. Hello, somebody. Mrs. Keith Cooks has left me to do this on my own. She's downstairs watching telly, I think. Da 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 da. 3 people. Hello, 3 people. Can you all hear me? Oh, 2 people. I scared somebody off. Oh my goodness. 3 people again. Can you all hear me? 4 people. Oh, I don't know. Is the commenting thing turned on? Nobody's chatting. Pop out chat. No, not like that. Well, this is fun. Nobody's telling me if they can hear me or not, and nobody's making comments. So I'm feeling a bit lonely. Oh, Neil Pie, hello. Right, you win a pie. Yes, no, yes, no. Leo Chadwick, thank you. You can hear me. Good. All right, Gary Morley, hello, mate. How are ya? DT Delu. Oh, sorry, Delaury. I don't know. Don't recognize that name, but welcome. Hello. 9 people now. So how's the weather where you are? That's what we do, us English, when we can't think of anything to say. We talk about the weather. Susan McCarthy, hello. I could talk about this beer from Saltaire Brewery, which is about 5 miles up the road from here. Titus. Saltaire, if you don't know Saltaire, it's a model village, an industrial village that was built by the millionaire factory owner Sir Titus Salt. And like a lot of these, well, most of these things, they're proprietors. They build their fantastic mill out in the clean and healthy countryside, which it really was at the time and still is. And then the people need places to live, so they build villages that are just beautiful compared to what most people had to live in a city, the slums. But most of these guys, they're teetotal, so there's no boozers in their model villages. But now that Titus is long gone, there's a bar and restaurant on the main street in Saltaire, and it's called Don't Tell Titus, which I think is pretty funny. But there you go. Wayne Payne, 98. Hello, Keith. How are you doing, mate? I'm doing very well, considering the miserable weather, the miserable circumstances of the planet at this moment. Yeah. Yeah, frankly, it's just, I don't know. It kind of think, what is the point? Why are we here? You know, because things are going to get worse before they get better on many fronts, and it's all very worrying. And you know, I'm referring to the virus and political events, but only in passing, because we don't talk about politics on this channel, and I just get too angry about it. Wayne, well, it doesn't like hot weather, apparently. Which might be true, might be not. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Yeah, Wayne, I know. It's going to be a lot worse than the politicians are admitting, or they just don't want to believe it. They just can't believe that it's so bad. And then we've got these idiots protesting against having to wear a little mask. Come on, babies. Just get a grip and get your bloody mask on. Honestly, I was quite amazed. You know, the 1918 the Spanish flu pandemic. Photographs from that time, people walking down the street wearing masks, people at football matches, every single person wearing a mask, and they beat it. And if you're not gonna take precautions, you're not going to stop it. And whether you get it or not, you will give it to other people. You'll give it to your loved ones. You'll give it to your granny. You'll regret it. And it's all because this bell end David Icke and other conspiracy theorists. Gary Morley, get lots of dried foods and tin grubbing. Yeah. I'm kind of buying more flour than I need immediately. I was in the supermarket today. There's a woman in front of me. She's got these 9 packs of toilet rolls. She's got about 12 of them. I'm like, Gary, they cause harm, mate. What do? Masks? No, they don't. They really, that's just nonsense. James Stonehouse, hello in Canada. The toilet. I mean, why do people obsess about? Why is it always the first sign of crisis is grab a toilet roll? Well, not a toilet roll, 100 toilet rolls. I mean, why? All else fails, there's always dock leaves. Gary, yes, they do research. I have not seen any research that says masks cause harm. They might not be 100% effective, but I'm sure they're more effective than not. In any case, I wear a face visor, which also isn't 100% effective, but better than nothing. So yeah. It's Wayne, yes. As long as you've got a clean bum, everything else is okay. Oh dear. It's a funny old world, innit? Who else is here? Gary, you've done what? You've picked 2 people in the last couple of weeks fainting. Mojo's Express. Mojo, hello from the woodlands. Oh, Texas. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Hypoxia. Oh, Gary, if your mask means you can't breathe, it's too tight. Honest. No. Scott. Yes, no toilet roll. I got a 4-pack the other day. I mean, that's I refuse to be panicked into buying massive quantities of that, and I don't know why. Brenda Rigdon. Okay, Brent. Well, even if the mask just stops you touching your face, you know what we actually should have is those clear cones that dogs have to wear when they've been to the vet, and I think that would wouldn't that solve everything really? Could it stop you touching your face? If you sneeze, it goes upwards and gradually comes back down. I don't know, just a thought. But yeah, Gary, seriously, what? Anyway, let's change the subject. Had some good news today because about a month ago. Oh, Gary, yeah, the dog shield. Yeah, why not? Tell me why not. Uh, 4 or 6 weeks ago, they were digging up all the roads around here to put in ultra fast fibre and fibre broadband internet. And they managed to break our internet connection at tea time on a Friday afternoon and then went away. So we were not able to get internet until the following Wednesday. So that was really distressing, annoying. Yeah, first world problem, but we come to rely on it. Yeah, so I got onto the ISP PlusNet, and they said, oh, well, we'll give you £1 a day compensation. I'm like, nah. And there's this scheme run by Ofcom, Office of Telecommunications, where the major ISPs have signed up to that, and you automatically get £8 a day compensation through that. So I mentioned this to PlusNet, and they said, well, we're not in it. I said, well, no, of course you're not. You're better than that. You can do better than that. So they actually, they did. It took some time and some messing about with this manager who'd taken the case on, always calling me at a time when I couldn't do the Data Protection Act thing because I don't know my 3,000 character password, or and it's when I'm out, I'm driving, or I'm on the loo, or at one point I was sunbathing in the garden and refused to come into the house to do it. Anyway, so finally today at lunchtime we were driving home for the shops and the phone went off and it was her. So Mrs. Keith Cooks answered and said, call back in 10 minutes, literally 10 minutes, not less, but not more. So she did, and yeah, she says, don't tell anybody about this and don't expect it to happen again, but on this occasion I'll refund you or compensate you £8 a day, so that's 50 odd quid. Yes, win. Right, Gary, roast chicken today, lovely. Keith Jones, hello, North Wales, all right. Scott, the idea of mass stop. Yeah. Okay, I know. Craig, hello. Wayne Payne, God, I don't know what those are. Are they cakes? Are they iced buns? Hard to tell. Gary Morley, what's cooking today? I'll tell you in a minute. Brenda, ATT&T. ATT&T? Used to be just AT&T. They got an extra T. Hey. Ooh, slow cooked Silverside. Anaya from Pakistan. Hello. Oh gosh, what time is it in Pakistan? Must be getting on a bit late. Monkeys with hammers. Okay, I don't understand the. All right, to represent the guys who buggered your internet. Oh, okay, all right, yeah. Thanks, yeah. And you know what? It actually was they'd actually they'd disturbed the the copper cable, the underground copper cable. So, but the engineer from British Telecom actually ended up poles, stretching a new wire from telegraph poles, and I'm like, I didn't think these things were still used. I thought they're just there because they're not used, but we can't be bothered, or we can't afford to take them down, or whatever. But no, they still do a job. Sneaky Baloop. Should you try that? Try what? I don't know. Bobby Ricketts. Hello. And Craig in Vietnam. Wow. 8:15. Lovely. Right, what's cooking today? Not a lot. I did a lot of cooking yesterday. I made so I got some new sausage hog casing. So I made some sausages again, Cumberland sausages again, but a bit less salty. Because the ones I did in the video were a little bit salty. Lisa M, I am a musketeer. I used to love that recent, well, what, 4 or 5 years ago now, wasn't it? The BBC Three Musketeers. The costumes were amazing, and the hats were just brilliant. I wanted a musketeer's hat. Stuart Reynolds and Grace and Charlie in Toronto. Hello. So yeah, I made those I started off making those sausages, and also I wanted to make a pie because yeah, Wayne, the musketeer facial hair, I know. Pretty nifty with a sword as well, you know. I am. Yeah. No. I used to know a guy, Gary, who was into reenactment, you know, Civil War, English Civil War, and that. And yeah, but you have to ride a horse. Well, he learned how to ride a horse. But yeah, he had lots of very, very interesting people get involved in stuff like that. Brenda, I just took it down from 3 teaspoons to 2. So yeah. Dog Tanyan and the 3 Musket Hounds. Yeah. Okay. I made a pie yesterday because I felt like a pie, as it were. And I know what it was. I'd seen one of my competitors and my arch rival, John Kirkham, on YouTube a few months ago made minced beef and onion pie, and it looked fabulous. It was perfectly smooth pastry top, gold, and so I thought, yeah, mine don't normally turn out like that because I always do elaborate crimped edges, and yeah, my glaze is a bit shiny, but not as shiny as his. So I thought, yeah, I'll have a go at that, and nicked his borrowed the recipe that he used, which is, you know, it's a traditional short crust with equal parts butter and lard and an egg in it, and it's very, very rich and not a lot of water, so it's very short and it's very, very delicious. And then glaze it just with egg yolk, so you're practically scraping it on with a knife because it won't spread with a brush. But oh my goodness, it turned out so magnificent. You know, it just I put photos on Instagram because I'm just so pleased with it. It's beautiful and it tasted amazing. So I think there might be a pie in the future on the channel. You never know. And what's today? So today, nothing. I was going to do a full English breakfast this morning with involving the new sausages, but I didn't. And why didn't I? Because I went shopping. Oh, because I was designing a gadget, and then I went shopping, and with Mrs. KC, and she was doing independent shopping and taking longer than I did. And yeah, all right. Dog Tanyan, the dog's balls. We don't say that. No. Oh, Brenda, you can't find mace. Are you kidding me? Well, use nutmeg. It's pretty much the same thing. Having said that, it can be tricky. I got some new one today. Some new mace today. Phil Brown, hello. East Yorkshire. Yes, I do know what that is because my sister lives in Withensea, which is in East Yorkshire, and so yeah, the whole patty, I believe it's generally known as, got sage in it. It's like mashed. It's like fish cake without fish. So it's mashed potato with a lot of sage in it and coated in breadcrumbs and fried, and very, very tasty. In fact, yeah. So yeah, I might chuck that in with something else because it's not substantial enough for it to warrant a whole video for itself, I don't think. But yeah, I like them. The whole patty. Yeah, I don't know if you know the saga of the Yorkshire fish cake, which I I did a video of about a year ago because somebody had requested that I do a Sheffield fish cake, which I thought was I don't know anything about a Sheffield fish cake. Why is it different? Because to me, a fish cake is basically mashed potatoes, parsley, and some fish scraps mashed in like that. But actually, it turns out a Yorkshire fish cake is a slice of fish, a slice of potato, top and bottom, and then coated in batter, the fish batter, not breadcrumbs, and it's fabulous. So they'd ask for Sheffield fish cake. I'd search for Sheffield fish cake recipes and come up with a couple, and then it turns out, and you know, these Sheffielders claiming that the Sheffield fish cake is not available anywhere else in Yorkshire, which turns out to be complete and utter bollocks. But I don't know, because when I go to the fish and chip shop, I get fish. I don't get a fish cake. I'm not a cheap person. I am really. But you know, I've never actually had a fish cake from a chippy. And it turns out that, you know, after all this started kicking off, I went to a local chippy and I got a fish cake, and it was you know, the fish and potato sandwich in batter, and it's fabulous. So yeah, much better than the mashed potato one. Anyway, oh, Bishop Auckland. All right. Yeah. John Parrish. Mrs. Keith Cooks is very fine, and as far as I know, she's sitting on the sofa watching telly. She might be ironing. She might be washing up, and she might join us later. Well, she said she would. So yeah. Phil Brown, that's a fish fritter. What, the fish cake? No, not in Leeds. It's cake. They don't even call it fish cake. I'll look up on they call it cake. Toasted potato cakes, Bren. Yeah, that sounds interesting. Wet Nelly. No, I never have. I looked it up once, but I can't remember what it is. Jackie, a Wet Nelly, a Liverpool pud. But you'll tell me. Cindy, hello. Yeah, Phil Brown. Well, you can call it a fish fritter. I don't. You know, we don't. Cindy, the lockdown, it's rubbish. I wish they'd get a grip. That either it's much less rigorous than the first one we had, because you were told not to go anywhere. You weren't allowed to travel, and yeah, but now we can. And this rule of 6, I don't get it. Our yoga class started back in the flesh 2 weeks ago, so I was wondering if that will be affected, because there's more than 6 of us. But no, we just had an email from the instructor today. She's still running it. It's okay, because it's not social. So we never talk. There's no gags. There's nothing going on. So yeah. Brenda, you've never heard of a net welly? Wet Nelly. Woody Hood. Mackerel fish cakes. Well, they'd be just like salmon fish cakes, I think, wouldn't they? They're oily fish. Shih Tzu Peggy, pop or mineral? You're talking about sweet fizzy drinks. It's pop. I've never heard. I mean, yeah, I've never heard it called mineral. Where are you? Yeah. Anyway, so yeah. So what? Yeah. So what's for tea? Did I get as far as explaining what's for tea? I think it's going to be a full English breakfast kind of thing for tea, because I haven't got a plan. Shih Tzu Peggy in Manchester, and they call it mineral. I've never come across that. I don't hang around in Manchester if I can help it. But yeah. Emma Dawkins from Germany. Hello. Brenda, Finny Haddy Kedgeree you're talking about. Yeah, Kedgeree. With smoked haddock. Yeah, I've done that. Yeah, delicious. Wonderful thing. But Finny Haddy is another thing. It's just smoked haddock, prepared in some kind of special Scottish way. I don't know. Mark Waters, I'm sorry to hear that when you boil your broccoli, the stalks are still hard. Cut the stalks off or boil it longer. Mike Whitcomb, sorry you're late. Yes, go and stand in the corner, okay? And yes, twice. Right, yeah, you are PNG, mate. Yeah, not talking to you. How's Italy? Probably hot, isn't it? It's become autumnal, pre-wintry around here. So I'm actually not psyched up for it, but yeah, we haven't got the heating on. A Lancaster chicken pop. No clue. Is it a drink? Is it a chicken lollipop or what? Cindy, the heart attack mashed potatoes. I don't think I would. 1 part butter to 1 butter and spud. No, I couldn't do that. I really, I mean, I don't particularly do healthy food, but I don't deliberately do lethal food. Yeah. Mm. Why are we talking about Italy? Not you, because I know you're that, but yeah. Phil Brown, cornmeal. Semolina, yeah, maybe, but we don't use a lot of it. We don't. I know you. Uh, your corn dogs and your corn fritters, and yeah, I don't know. Uh, yeah. What is semolina? No, actually, I think semolina is a kind of pasta. I'm talking tosh, but maybe. Gary can't stand winter. Yeah, it has its points, but you do quickly get to a point round about Christmas where you've had enough of it. Um, uh, oh, Bren, you got a tractor to mow your lawn with. Oh, so Jan 99, 1999, you found kidney. Well done. It's a little bit tricky. Yeah. Lovely to make Maltese pasta in oven. I don't know what you mean, Joseph. Shih Tzu Peggy, no, I don't do any public things because I have no public thing to do. I had a plan to make pork pies at one point and sell them at farmers markets, but it didn't happen. And right now it can't happen because of the sort of lockdown and that, I reckon. Brenda, school dinners. I don't. You mean like the retro school dinners that we used to have back in the day? I got told off by somebody for doing too many recipes out of that book, the prawn cocktail years. So yeah. John Parrish, you have to store your oil separate to your chicken recipes. I don't know. Oh yes. Oh, semolina pudding with a blob of jam. That was disgusting, wasn't it? I used to love that. I used to love the blob of jam floating it, and you'd play with it, and you'd spread it out on the bottom of your bowl, and then mix it up with the semolina. And because I think the semolina didn't taste good, but the jam did. Yeah. Robert Shepherd, food item particular to Birmingham. That's interesting. I don't think there is. I can't think of anything unless you count the balti, which is actually, a curry that was invented in Birmingham, or a curry style, or not invented but made popular. Don't know. Right. Brand 52-inch Husqvarna mower. Okay. All right. Yeah. We got the world's smallest, cheapest Qualcast electric mower a couple of weeks ago, because we only have a little patch of lawn, but it still needs doing. Cindy, semolina is wheat. Okay. Shih Tzu Peggy, it would be good to see me on James Martin's show. Are you listening, James? Fellow Leo Densian. Yeah, that'll probably not happen. Gary Morley, liver and onions. Why? I mean, not. I mean, I like liver and onions, and I've done it But is that what you're doing? Woody Hood. Right. Now I'm not. Well, yeah. Oh. Well, Woody Hood. I've never actually made mackerel fish cakes, but what you're gonna have to do is fill it, get all the fishy fleshy off, and then gently mash it in with cooked potato, and then cover it in breadcrumbs and fry it. Like I think I've done salmon fish cakes. If you search for that, Mike Whitcomb has it. Oh, the nipper. I thought you said ripper. Old story. Yes, the nipper. The nipper is back at the smoke. In the smoke. Mrs. is downstairs. Brenda, yeah, okay. I can't remember who it was that said it about the prawn cocktail years recipes, but yeah. Cindy Polenta. Trying to remember what polenta's made from. Yeah. Oh, Chef Earl Young. Hello. You're the one that's in Dubai, eh? I think. Cindy, have I heard of pancakes, Barbara? No, I haven't. Oh, Gary, you had liver and onions at school. I don't think we ever did. Because, yeah. All right, cinder polenta is corn. So is it like cornmeal? No, I have no idea. All right, Shih Tzu Peg. Yeah, I don't really do smoothies. In fact, that's not strictly true. I never do smoothies. I just don't get I really don't get smoothies. Mrs. does, but yeah. Well, Cindy, what is pancakes, Barbara? Polenta, Gary. No, I'm pretty sure it's not made. Polenta is not made from spuds. Well, yeah. I've seen a couple of old cooking shows where people, they get nervous in front of cameras and they're trying to cook. They say, "Right, I'm going to cook placenta today." No, I'm going to cook polenta today. A mix with potatoes and double O flour. Oh, Phil Brown cornmeal. Yes, you have. I was in Tesco's yesterday and they had 2 pallets of flour on sale for clearance. And it was not a brand they've normally stocked. And it was selling for 25 pence for a 1 kilo bag. So I got one and I looked at it and it's actually Italian flour and it's double O, Tipo double O, which is the very fine flour that is recommended for pasta. Normally sells for about twice the price of normal flour. So I just got one bag because I'd already got a load of stuff to carry to the car. But yeah. Shih Tzu Peggy, current quaff is this Salter Titus, which is okay. It's not brilliant, but it's just nice. Gary, pasta flour date. Okay, I haven't looked at the date. uh, I'm just kind of I don't know. When the first lockdown happened and flour disappeared from the shelves, they started getting in other brands, off brands that they wouldn't normally supply. So I think they're okay now, and they can't really sell this alongside the normal stuff. Don't know. Anyway, ooh, Brenda Know It All Rigdon. Polenta is fine ground corn cooked like grits. So now you know. Yes. Cindy, I think you've got you right off top or different topic. You're talking about pancakes, Barbara. Yeah, maybe. Shih Tzu Peggy. Okay, I can say hello to your missus Lisa, who's doing the Sunday roast. Hello, Lisa. Hurry up, I'm starving. And Andrew Sheck. Good morning from Canada. Hello. There's another thing. What is grits? Oh, God. Brenda sent me a food parcel a few years ago and it included a lot of grits. And I still have a lot of grits in the cupboard, I'm sorry to say. But yeah, it turns out there's something like porridge, but yeah, it's made from corn in some form. Yeah. Oh dear, oh dear. Right. What else? There was a big thud on the doorstep yesterday that surprised me because I hadn't ordered anything. And oh, Gary, very apt timing. And it turned out to be the curry guy, Dan Toombs, his new book, which is called Bible. And so it's basically his sort of greatest hits and about 50 new recipes. So I'm going to do something from that for next week's recipe. So it's a curry. Cindy, yeah, to be fair, I didn't give grits a go. I just did a basic with no additives. And you know, everybody's told me since that you know you can add cheese and bacon and anything that you fancy, really. Oh, Shih Tzu Peggy, I don't do hot curries. I can't tolerate massive heat because yeah, wimp. I like the idea, but yeah. Stephen West, you can leave now if you're serious about that. You know, this is my channel. I'm not having nonsense like that on my channel. Okay. No, no. You don't have to believe in masks. Do you know what? Yeah, you're right, Gary. New World. Oh, Jesus Christ. La 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 la. Brenda, you should start your own channel because obviously you've got lots of spare time with all the kids and mowing the lawn and that. Yeah. Oh dear. Where were we? A hot curry. Yeah. You know, people they say the way to get used to hot curries and that is to practice. Eat, you know, start off with mild ones and get hotter and hotter and hotter, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. So yeah, I don't enjoy that sensation of being on fire. Mike Whitcomb, Planet Keith. He's not. He's on Planet. What was his Planet? Planet Stephen West. Yeah. Oh dear. It's a shame. I don't know what's. Yeah. Oh, Planet Keith. I tell you what, I got all excited a couple of weeks ago because I made a video for it, and I've got 2 or 3. I'm like, yeah, you noticed. It wasn't years; it was 7 months, I think. And I had 2 or 3. I've got 2 or 3 lined up, but I just don't get time, or I just don't finish projects. So, in fact, I thought I could make one video, a compilation of all the starts that I've got. I must have about at least a dozen videos that I've started, but I haven't finished because I haven't finished the work involved in the project. So it's quite annoying. Brenda, you couldn't take the rudeness of people. Well, I can't either, and I don't. Mike Wickham, my garage. Generally, a tip is the right word for it, but I cleared up half of it a few weeks ago, and I'm trying to get round to doing the other half. Shih Tzu Peggy, best job. I'll come back to that. Just a channel to keep track. Okay. How do I store your pies? Yeah, I freeze them. They freeze very, very well. Yeah, Mike. Yes, I've still got the green screen. It's hard to see. There's a lot of stuff obscuring it at the moment. Just a channel. You made the steak and ale pie very, very good. And Varg the Darg. Hello. Right. Shih Tzu Peggy, the best job I ever had. I trained as an interior designer, not decorator, as somebody accused me of the other day. I don't do it. I tell people what to do because I'm a bossy person. So, so I got a job with a brewery in Bristol, Courage Brewery, as it was, designing pubs, doing the pub interiors, which was absolutely brilliant. It was just after that period when in the 70s, breweries in the UK just completely lost the plot about everything that makes a pub great. Like, first of all, great beer. They stopped doing great beer, to the extent that there were local breweries. You'd have a brewery in every town, and then they kind of merged, and you finish up with 5 giants. And all they were concerned about was making a ton of money. So, and pub interiors became bland. There was a lot of Formica going around, and it was just awful. It was awful. And fluorescent lights in a pub. Come on. So I joined when we just got over that, and we were making pubs more pubby, more traditional, but not always. We did do modern stuff as well, but there was never any Formica involved, and it was fabulous. And we used to cover 1/3 of the country, so it was up from Bristol. It was right down to the end of Cornwall and across to the M25 and up to Birmingham, and included South Wales, not North Wales. So yeah, it was marvelous. I loved it. Hey. And free beer. We had a beer allowance every month. Okay, so Brenda, The little hummingbirds. Okay, that's great. Uh, White Rose of Yorkshire for now. No green screen for now. Hurrah! Okay, I could do a blue screen, just a little one. CLC MIDI. I don't really understand keto diet. I think yeah. I think I did. No, yeah. You've completely thrown me because I normally I just completely ignore all these special diets because too complicated and a little bit of I don't know. I know Tom Kerridge is done the keto diet, didn't he? And lost a ton of weight, an absolute ton. But yeah, anyway. All right. Shih Tzu Peggy, next venture. Don't know. What do you mean? Andrew Shep, the breweries own their own pubs. Yeah, that's right. They did, and that job, I did it for 2 or 3 years, and it came to an end when the Monopolies and Mergers Commission did an investigation into the beer and beer brewing and retailing industry because they thought it was a monopoly situation, which it was because, us Courage, we owned 5,000 pubs, and all that was sold in there was Courage products. So that was a monopoly situation, and the same with all the other giants. So in the end, the beer orders said you can be a brewer, and you can own up to 1,000 pubs, or you can be a retailer. So you don't brew, but you can own as many pubs as you can get your hands on, basically. So because Courage had been taken over by the Australian brewer Foster's, they chose to be a brewer, a beer producer, rather than a retailer, which meant that the property function wasn't needed so much. So we all got, well, we didn't get, we would have got fired, but I left before it came to that. But yeah. Brenda, the Sportsman Bar in St John Market had a race car on the ceiling. No, I don't. I don't remember that at all. Goodness, because I mean, I spent half my time putting racing cars on ceilings and things. Basically beef and veggies. Is that what keto is? I thought it was. Oh yeah, no spuds though, right? No spuds, which is where, yeah. I don't know if I could do it that, but you have to get your body into a state. You have to really go for it, don't you? You can't be half-hearted with it. The body has to go into ketosis or something. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's something I could do or would want to do, really. Anyway, Brenda, what are you doing? Telling Gary to look up. You could do it. All right, I know he was asking. Oh, I had the tractor bar in Helsinki. I know it well. Yeah. Not. Phil Brown, yeah, not healthy long term. That's kind of what I've heard. But yeah. Cook up all your potatoes and mash them and freeze them, I reckon. And Varg. I just think Varg is a great name. for a little doggy. Hey. Lee Braithwaite from sunny California. Hello. I was wondering, Michael Whitcomb, when that word would rear its head. Macaroni latico. Macaroni latico. Yeah. So anyway, listen, last weekend we had our baby and his girlfriend. So we went for a wander up the Dales or into Nidderdale area of outstanding natural beauty, and we went to Pateley Bridge, little town that we stumbled across for the first time a month or so ago. So we went there and had a lovely day, and it was warm and it was sunny, and that was just a week ago. Yeah. What, Brenda? Keto made your daughter pregnant? Really? Oh, Lee. Oh, yeah. You must have hated that last video. All those potatoes, but I mean, you know, they weren't high fat. They weren't. Yeah, I mean, they were moderately healthy. But anyway, my baby, lol, is 2 foot taller. I know. I don't know how that happened, but we must have looked after him pretty well when he was a toddler. So yeah. Anyway. Shih Tzu Peggy, do I ever play golf? No, I don't. I never have. I just who was it? It was some smart ass, Oscar Wilde or somebody, said that golf was a good walk, spoiled. I mean, yeah, I just don't get it. Yeah. Anyway, but I think it's one of those things. If you do get it, you get into it. I've known guys who basically their entire lives of once to get into golf, it's every day. It's as much as you can. It's just got to do it. And I don't want to get into that or risk getting into a situation like that. So it's like why I don't play games on the computer, because I know I'd just get addicted and be swallowed up by it, kind of thing. Gary probably gave him lots of milk. Yeah. Neil Pye, hole in one, very good. Lee, well, yeah, amazingly, I was about a foot taller than my mother, about the same height as my dad. So yeah, we don't know about the milkman. Pete Mansfield, a keto diet. Yeah. Mike Whitcomb, fresh milk in the UAE. I'm not sure. Yeah, it was probably all UHT, and I don't know where it came from. And yeah, good question. Nathaniel Evans. Rude. Yeah. Yeah, good one. Search cows, then you'll find out where milk comes from. Lee, Mrs. Keefe is downstairs, probably asleep by now. She said she'd come and show her face at some point, but she hasn't yet. What's going on with the lockdown? It's a bit rubbish. It's confusing as ever. You're not allowed to meet with people from more than 6 different households at the same time, or more than 6 people from anywhere at the same time, unless it's your yoga class or your whatever, in a non-social setting, So, and the pubs are shutting at 10 o'clock at night, So, but there's no restrictions on travel. There's no advice to stay in the house. It's not actually. It's not a lockdown. It's not right to call it a lockdown, really. Yeah. Shih Tzu Peggy. Aaron, listen. Eat your veg, okay? It's good for you. Yeah. Mike, what do you mean there's no cows in Singapore? Of course there are. They're underground. That's why. Brenda, he looked very scared. I think he was a bit nervous, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah, where's Mrs. Phone her. La, 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 la. Oh, I've got this. So Brenda was saying that she wouldn't want to start a channel on YouTube or anything because of dealing with people who aren't quite right in the head. And honestly, I'm getting so abrupt with some people on comments now. I had one today who was telling me that a Spanish recipe that I did, pan con tostada, which is just juicy tomato grated onto a bit of toasted bread and with some oil and maybe some garlic. That is it. You have it for breakfast. It's fantastic. It's really simple. And he's just telling me that's not how you do it. It's how you do it. It's how they do it in Madrid. And he's like, well, I'm Catalan and we have the real recipe. And I'm like, just sod off. Just it's not relevant. Doesn't help. I'm doing what I know, and it's okay. You can say that it's done differently, but don't say that's not how you do it. Don't ever say that. That really really winds me up. Hang on. Lee 14